Okay, that's enough. Enough of that tomfoolery. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this webinar that's done in collaboration with my good friend and mentor, Daniel Priestley, which is going to be all about how to build your minimum viable product. We have a bunch of people here who have pre-existing businesses. We have a bunch of people here who have not yet started businesses. In fact, we polled you for this webinar. These were the results of said polling. Oh, Dan's going to bring it up. Perfect. We asked, do you have a business? 18% of you apparently have a business. 39% have an idea / side hustle, and 43% is not yet, so that's fine. We asked you another question. We asked, are you looking to set up your MVP straight away, your minimal viable product? Around 40% of you were like, yeah, let's go. The other 40% in the next few months, 23% not sure. So we're going to be showing you in the session exactly how you can do that if you haven't yet. And then finally, we also asked you, ... Are you sorry? Are you already a customer of ScoreApp, which is the software that Dan runs, the software that I've invested in, the software that we use the shit out of when it comes to creating our own stuff? 4% of you are already signed up. So awesome. Lovely to see you here. 96% of you are not. Dan probably won't like me saying this, but for the stuff we're going to teach today, you don't have to use ScoreApp. You don't have to use a particular piece of software if you don't want to. You could just use a Google form if you really want to, but hopefully you'll see ScoreApp just makes it easier to do all of this stuff. Anyway, I'm now going to introduce Dan Priestley. So Daniel Priestley is fantastic. Let me see if I can find these. Ugh. Dan has written a bunch of absolutely sick books. I have 3 of them here. There's like another three or four on the list. Key Person of Influence is absolutely amazing. It was almost like if you guys are familiar with Tim Ferriss's The 4-Hour Workweek, this came out around that time and was really absolutely massive in kind of elevating the level of conversation when it came to building businesses around personal brands, i.e. around key persons of influence. And you know, we did a sick coaching session with Dan, where Dan came into our team in London in person, and we talked about how a business that's built around the idea of a key person of influence. Let's just hit mute on everyone as this is happening. Any business that's built around a key person of influence, it's like the Chicago Bulls built around Michael Jordan. Yes, there's everyone else in the team who's like helping them out. But the fact that the Chicago Bulls have Michael Jordan means that they just get taken to the next level and the next level and the next level. And so building a business around a key person of influence is a really cool thing to do. And that's kind of what my business is, what Dan's business is. It's what a lot of businesses are these days, and increasingly so. But then this book, Oversubscribed, is my most highlighted book on Kindle of all time. And this book has driven at least $2, if not $3 million of value for our business by literally just going step by step and applying the principles in this to our online courses business. And then Dan's recent book, Scorecard Marketing, is one that I've read and all of the marketing people on our team have read. That's really helped skyrocket our email list. I think by following the principles in this book, our email list has grown by 100,000 subscribers, our email list, in the last month. Because we were at 200K subscribers a month ago. Then we were like, you know what, let's just actually start using scorecards and follow Scorecard Marketing. And now we're on 300K subs. And anyone who has an email list knows that like getting from 200K to 300K is actually a pretty solid achievement. Anyway, all of those things to say that Dan Priestley really knows his shit when it comes to business. And the interview that he and I did on my Deep Dive podcast has skyrocketed to become, I think, either the second highest viewed podcast we've ever done, behind Mr. Who's the Boss, who's already a big YouTuber with 15 million subscribers. So, you know, the comments on the interview that Dan and I have done on my podcast keep getting people saying, oh my God, I can't believe this information is free. So the information you're going to be getting from Dan today is going to be essentially a walkthrough around the philosophy and the practicalities of building your minimum viable product. Hopefully you're going to walk away from this session being like, oh my God, I can't believe this information was free. You might like to sign up for ScoreApp, whether or not you do or don't. The point of this session is for us to show up and to provide as much value to you guys as we possibly can. Anyway, that's enough spiel from me. I am now going to hand you guys over to Dan Priestley. Dan, hello.
Hello. Thank you very much, Ali. That was great. We are going to have some great fun tonight creating a minimum viable product, which is one of the very first steps to building a business. It's one of the very first things that you do when you're about to launch a business and you want to see whether you've got a good idea, whether you've got something that can generate leads and customers. So let's get straight into it. For those of you who haven't seen already, I'm Daniel Priestley. You can follow me on socials. The number one thing I would really recommend is, obviously, if I haven't had a look at Ali and I having a deep dive, it's a 2-hour chat. We go right into all the different stages of business. We talk through the different phases that businesses go through and how to grow them. And we have a lot of fun talking through the different challenges that you have to overcome as an entrepreneur. So tonight's workshop is building a minimum viable product, building an MVP. And I want to start by zooming out on the entrepreneur journey. So we want to have a look at, like, what does entrepreneurship look like as a as a concept, stepping back from it. So let me walk you through a few stages when you're building your business. So stage one is coming up with a concept, making sure that you've got a good idea and validating that idea. So this is kind of pre-startup, or the startup phase, before you've got customers, before you've got money coming through. Typically, once you've made a few sales, you enter something called the wilderness. The wilderness is where you are working really hard to keep your head above water, to find out whether there is actually some money in this, to find out whether you can cover some basic costs and overheads. And essentially, you're trying to do everything yourself. When people talk about the early days of really struggling, where they're doing absolutely everything themselves, they're normally describing this idea of the wilderness, where you're roaming around trying to find out what works and what doesn't work. And you're also trying to figure out how to pay your bills and all of those sorts of things. Once you get a little bit of traction, you end up with what we call a boutique team. Normally 3 or 4 people start to form around you and the business. And you just seem to be able to make it from basic overheads to basic overheads, and you can pay a few bills. And eventually, if you do things really, really well, you end up with the dream scenario of having a lifestyle boutique. So a lifestyle boutique is 3 to 12 people on a team. And with 3 to 12 people, you've got plenty of revenue flowing through. You're making wages plus profit. So if you think about how much you could earn by working in a corporate, you earn that, and also you earn some profit. This is where you've got a good product. This is where you've got leads flowing in. You're making sales regularly. You're getting traction on your social media accounts. All of these things are happening with a lifestyle boutique. Now, the perfect example of a lifestyle boutique would be Ali. Ali has got an amazing lifestyle boutique. And if ever you've had a look at some of the videos where he takes you behind the scenes with him and his team, you would see exactly what we're talking about with a lifestyle boutique. He's got lots of media. He's got lots of content. He's got lots of products that are selling. He's got an amazing dynamic team of people who are passionate. And there's a 3 to 12 person team that's there. The core team, obviously, they're a bigger one. They're about 12 people. And they're having a really good time. Now, here's where you want to stop. You don't want to go above 12 people, because if you go above 12 people, you enter a phase called the desert. The desert is the crossing of the desert is where you're too big to be small and too small to be big. You're awkwardly in between. You're not a big business and not a small business. And that is typically between 13 and 50 people, where you're not a big business, not a small business, and it's just a weird size. If you go above 40 or 50 people, you enter into what I would call a performance business. This is where you start looking like a bit of a more organized group of people. You've probably got a CEO and a CFO and a CTO and a CMO and a COO. You've got teams of teams. Everyone's got job descriptions. Everyone knows what they're up to. You have different team meetings and dashboards and technology. You've probably got debt and investment, all of those sorts of grown-up business fun things, which are not very fun. So you're up there in that performance zone. And then the size of that is where we get into what we call the unicorn business. The unicorn business is the one that is the front page of the magazines. It's the one that everyone talks about. It's the $1 billion startup. And those are extremely rare, right? Obviously, there's only a few hundred of those that get created out of the millions of businesses. Now, where should you focus your attention? If you are down here at the concept stage, you need to just think about, how do I get myself to a lifestyle boutique? How do I create enough validation? I can keep my head above water, and I'm going to get to this lifestyle boutique. So these are the first challenges. We're going to talk about these first challenges in this workshop. Now, the first challenge is to create something called a minimal viable product, an MVP. So MVP stands for minimal, which means we don't want to spend too much money or time on it. Viable means that it actually gives us a clear signal. And product means that it's presented to a customer in a way that they understand it from their point of view. So it's a minimum viable product. Let me give you a very famous example of a minimum viable product. Obviously, this is a bigger example, but it's a famous example. A few years ago, Elon Musk stands on a stage and he says, we're going to be creating these things called Cybertrucks. And he's got this big Cybertruck standing behind him, and he wheels it out onto the stage. Literally, they bring it out on stage, and he starts talking about the Cybertruck, and he shows some examples of how fast it will go. And he's basically got a little bit of a video, and he's got some data, and he's got some prices. And then he says, go to the website and you will see a page where you can put down a £100 deposit for a Cybertruck, right? Or $100 deposit if you're in the USA. And you can pre-order a Cybertruck. You can join a waiting list. Now, he's very, very clear at this point that they don't even have a factory. They don't have any Cybertrucks available. It's just an idea, and you're putting down a $100 deposit for something that will not be available for years to come. So he's very clear this is coming in 2 years or 3 years from now. And what happened was absolutely extraordinary. About 1 million people went and put down a reservation for a Cybertruck, and he essentially validated that the Cybertruck was a good idea because 1 million people said that they wanted one. And even if only a couple of 100,000 people go ahead and buy one, that is a very successful business. So rather than doing what most car companies would do, most car companies would rush out, build a factory, start producing all these Cybertrucks in secret, make sure nobody knew about them being produced, and then they would reveal that they have Cybertrucks available, and then they would say, go and buy one if you're ready. He did it the correct way, which is to do a minimum viable product first, which is essentially just a basic landing page to see if people wanted to buy these things. Now, here's the funny thing. If you went to Goldman Sachs or Merrill Lynch or one of the big investment banks, JP Morgan, and you said, I want to borrow $250 million to build a Cybertruck factory. This is what I've got in mind. No one in their right mind would lend you the money to build a Cybertruck factory. However, if you say we've got 1 million pre-orders, we've got 1 million people have signed up for this, and we need the money to build them, suddenly it's like, okay, how much money do you need? We'll happily invest. We'll happily lend you the money that you need. All of those things start to happen. So the beauty of a Cybertruck, beauty of a minimum viable product is that it gives you the validation that you need. And it also gives the validation to people like investors and employees and all of those sorts of people as well. So that's what we're talking about. That's a very famous example of an example here. Okay, so it leverages the principle that everything downstream from lead generation, right? So that's the principle that it leverages. If you can generate leads for something, then you've got all the things that happen after that. So this is a lead generation campaign where people are signaling their interest to have a Cybertruck, and that is a very positive thing because it's a positive signal of interest, and everything is downstream from lead generation. So for you, what are your options when creating a minimum viable product? What are the options that you've got available to you? So here's a couple of options. MVP number 1 is a Zoom event. So a Zoom event is very simple. You set up a basic landing page and you say to people, we are going to be running a little workshop on something, and it's going to be a 90-minute web class, or it might be a 30-minute web class, and it's on Zoom. Register your interest, and you can register for a Zoom event. That is a great minimum viable product. People can register, and they give you their name and their email address, and they basically commit to an hour of their time, and suddenly it's a really good minimum viable product. So here's a question I've got for you. In the chat, please let me know if you were going to run a Zoom event for your business idea, what might it be called? So I want you to think about it like this. It's a workshop, and it's going to be an introduction to blank, an introduction to blank. What would you make your workshop about? So let's say, for example, Ali is going to do a YouTuber Academy. He might do a workshop called an introduction to starting and scaling a YouTube channel. And that would be a really good little introduction event. And if people register for that, then they're interested in it. If someone was thinking about becoming a golf professional, they might do an introduction to improving your golf handicap. If someone was a fitness coach helping people run marathons, an introduction to running your first marathon. All of those would be great examples of an introduction event. So in the chat, please go all in and say, what would you do yours? So let me share some of these. An introduction to branding and using Figma. An introduction to using human-centered design to make better decisions. An introduction to large-scale social media marketing. Oh, I want to do that. An introduction to quantum technology. I have no idea what that is, but I'm curious. An introduction to mathematics of finance. Interesting. Now, one thing I will give you as a little tip here, a hint, is that the perfect introduction would be that you could walk into a Starbucks and say, I'm running this Zoom event and it's an introduction to blank. And pretty much anyone in a Starbucks would kind of understand what you're talking about and know whether they want to register or not. An introduction to photography. It could be an introduction to taking great photos, or photography is great. An introduction to nailing your next job interview. Very clear. I love it. An introduction to low-cost web maintenance. Kind of get it. Pretty clear. An introduction to illustration and storytelling. Interesting. Introduction to giving feedback on essays for students. Introduction on video game sound design. Wow, they're very specific. So this is MVP number 1. The good news with this one is that Zoom automatically has a button that allows you to record it, and you can do the recording, and then people can even opt in for the recording at a later date. So, by the way, who's doing annotations on my screens? Rebecca, are you able to remove these little arrows and drawings? Or does everyone want to have a turn at annotating my screen before we clear the screen? Feel free to go and do whatever you need to do to get it out of your system. And then once there we go. We've got some annotation going on. Fabulous. Oh, someone's given me a mustache. Someone's given me love hearts. Look at you all. You were just waiting for permission to annotate my screen. Oh my goodness. Here we go. All right. Clear it off. All right. We're all going to be done in 3, 2, 1. No more annotations, please. All right. Thank you very much. You're Ali. Who are these people that you've invited into my Zoom meeting? Okay. So the good news is you can record your Zoom meeting. You can turn it into another type of MVP, which is just basically opt in for the recording. So if someone misses the recording, if you do a good recording, you can opt in for the recording. Enough of the annotations, please. I'm going to have to get very cross in a minute. Okay, MVP number 2 is an online group. So an online group is where you invite people to a Facebook community, a Facebook group, and essentially you just invite people to join the group, and it could be a special group around a particular topic. It could be a 5-day challenge. I love 5-day challenges on Facebook as an MVP. So here's a few examples. Speak English with Confidence 5-day challenge, 5-day get leads from LinkedIn sprint, the 5-day marathon peak performance challenge, the fertility breakthrough 7-day workshop, right? So these are examples of MVPs that have been created on Facebook, right? So you just create a workshop, you create a group, and then you invite people to the group. It doesn't have to be on Facebook. I've seen really good ones on WhatsApp. So this is the Family Office Insider, very high net worth people who are joining a group. There's dozens and dozens of people inside this group, and it's a really good little group, and it's a great MVP, great pop-up. So here's the question I've got for you. I want you to imagine that you're going to set up a group as an MVP, and it's called How to Achieve Blank, a 7-day breakthrough. Right? How to achieve blank, a 7-day breakthrough. So what would you put as yours? How to achieve, like how to run your first marathon, get a 7-day breakthrough. How to get better results on your exams, get a 7-day breakthrough. How to lose weight. Here's a 5-day challenge. How to make more sales. Join our 7-day breakthrough or our 7-day challenge. What would you put yours as? Let's have a look in the chat here. Okay, let's have a look. How to take control of your life, how to build your ideal physique, how to achieve efficient management of your team, 7-day breakthrough, how to get your first client, 7-day challenge, how to complete your first comic in 7 days. I love it. How to achieve financial safety in medical school, 7-day breakthrough. How to get into an Ivy League school, 7-day breakthrough. How to cultivate boundaries. How to build a digital organization. How to improve your mental health. So these are all really great examples of a group that people could join. It could be a WhatsApp group, it could be a Facebook group, and you do it as a pop-up that people can join inside the group. By the way, what do you do inside the group for 5 days? You can share with people videos on YouTube that they should be watching. You can share with people PDF documents that they can use as like little templates. You can give people a daily update. You can give them a daily little note to consider. All of those things can fit within that group. Okay, so let's get to MVP number 3. By far and away, this is the biggest one and the best one, the most professional one, and the one that Ali and I recommend the most, and that is to create a scorecard campaign. This is a new innovation, and it's an innovation that really is going to blow people out of the water because this collects data for you. This one gives you clear signals, and it really brings together a lot of psychological principles when you launch a scorecard. So what do we mean by a scorecard? Another word for a scorecard would be a quiz. So if you go to the NHS, they have a quiz here called How Are You? Get a free personalized health score. So that's on the NHS. This one here is called What's Your Money Personality? This is a wealth quiz. This one is called the 5 love languages. And I'm curious, does anyone here know their love language? If you know your love language, feel free to put it into the chat. Mine is words of praise. If you want to give me praise for my amazing workshop skills, then you will be in line with my love language. Also, 16 personalities. Unbelievably, 800 million people have taken the 16 personalities quiz. This one tells you whether you have a personality or not. I was lucky enough to come out that I did actually have one of 16 personalities. So you can take the test and you can find out whether you've got personality or what kind of personality you've got. So these are all examples. The Key Person of Influence scorecard is one that I created. Some of you may have come across Myers-Briggs, Wealth Dynamics, Good Parenting, Marathon Readiness, all of those examples. So a really good way to think about this is a quick quiz. Are you ready to blank? Are you ready to blank? Right? So that's going to be a quick quiz. Are you ready to blank? What would you do yours on? Right? So just put some examples in the chat. Are you ready to run your first marathon? Are you ready to be a Gymshark athlete? Are you ready to level up your team management? Are you ready to apply for college? Are you ready to launch your business? Are you ready to study abroad? These are awesome. These are so good. Are you ready to launch a high impact enterprise? I love it. Are you ready to create a Discord group? Are you ready to start your business? Are you ready to be an artist? Are you ready to study more effectively? Are you ready to crack behavior in the classroom? Are you ready to have consistent fitness habits? All of these are so good, right? I love these. So let's talk about how to pad this out. Let's put some meat on the bones with this strategy so that you've got a really great strategy. So I'm going to be using ScoreApp. ScoreApp is a tool that does a few things really well, and they're all linked together. So here's what ScoreApp does. It creates a landing page so that people know what it is that they're doing, why they're filling in a quiz, why they're answering questions. It sells it to them. It gives people clarity around why they're going to fill in the scorecard. So that's a landing page. It then delivers the questions one at a time. So it gives you a questionnaire. It then shows people dynamic results based on how they answered the questions. And it gives you tools for promotion so that you can get more and more people filling in the scorecard. So it's all really nicely done. It's essentially, you've got lovely templates. You can use the templates. And we've also got artificial intelligence that makes it all really nice. So it's going to give you a nice, simple way of creating a scorecard with questions and dynamic content and then calls to action. This is going to make it look like you have created, it will actually look like you've spent tens of thousands of pounds building a version 1 of your product, even though it'll cost you nothing to set this up. Then on the back end, when people fill in your scorecard, it's going to show you lots of data about your people and give you all sorts of insights. So let's get into it. How do we do it? Okay, so we are going to go through the 4 steps. And actually, what I would like to do is I would just simply like to just get straight into showing you how to do this using the software, because that basically is the easiest way for people to do it. Some people have said, is this paid or free? It's initially free. So it's a 30-day free trial through Ali. And we actually have the best offer we've ever done, which is 50% discount for the first 3 months after the free trial, right? So we don't do that for anyone else. That is an Ali special. And the reason for that is we want to make it as cheap as possible while you're just getting your business off the ground, so that it's super simple for you to get leads and go for that. Okay, let's jump on in and let's actually build a scorecard so you can see how it works before you worry about how much it is and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so this is my dashboard. When you log in for the first time, you're not going to see any of these scorecards. You're just going to see one button that says create scorecard. Because I'm a heavy user of scorecards, these are all my campaigns that I'm running at the moment. And essentially, each one is generating lots of leads. So this is one of our campaigns that's running. And this is the key person of influence scorecard that's linked to our YouTube channel. And every day we get between 5 and 10 leads coming through here. So you can see here that over the last 30 days, 637 people came to the landing page. Out of 637 people, 271 started the questions and we got their details. 221 finished all the questions. We got a completed scorecard. So we've got a conversion rate of 43%. On average, people spend 5 minutes and 12 seconds doing it. Average drop-off is about 1.5 minutes in 10 questions. So it's giving me a bit of detail here. So essentially, this is one of my campaigns. And this is what it looks like if you were to go to the front end. It's basically a nice little, are you ready to be a key person of influence? Get your score now, right? So it's a nice little scorecard there. So here's what we want to do for you. We want to start from scratch. Let's talk about this. If we want to go create scorecard, right, it's going to say, well, how do you want to do that? Do you want to start from scratch? No, you definitely don't want to do that unless you're a graphic designer or a web designer. You can do it, but it takes a bit of extra time. One option is you can go in and look at the templates. So you can say, actually, what have I already got? I'm into health and well-being. What's already there? Oh, do you need a physio? Let's just go in that one. We can edit the content there. We can see all the questions that are already written, right? So we can just simply use the templates that are already there. Super simple. We've got lots of templates. I love this one here, the Wheel of Life, right? So Wheel of Life, very much a traditional coaching tool, helps you to understand which areas of life you're strong, which ones need some improvement, right? So these are some of the beautiful templates that are already ready to go. You can just add your logo, add your branding, and it's ready to go. However, let's say you want to create something that's completely unique to you. So let's go create scorecard, and we're going to use the AI setup wizard, right? So how cool is artificial intelligence? We just go click on the AI, and it gives us a little warning that it might get something wrong, and that obviously you need to check it because it's not human created, it's AI created. So we get started based on that premise. And what do we want to do? So the AI is going to start asking us some questions. It says, what do you want to do? Do you want to generate some leads? Do you want to qualify your existing leads? Do you want to improve client results? We want to start a business, so we want to generate new leads. So I'm going to click that. Then it's going to say, do you want a basic score? Do you want to have a introvert, extrovert? What type of person are you? Do you want to have a multiple scores? Let's go with multiple scores. Okay, so here we are. We've got, how would you describe your business? So I'm going to have a quick look in the chat and have a look at some of the people. What did we come up with here? Let's have a look. So Aline said, are you ready to land your dream job? So I'm going to say that the business is career coaching, right? There we go. Let's see if we can go through. I'll just put 2 categories in here just for the demo. Interview preparation skills. That's pretty good. Let's go with that one. Get hired by mastering your interview skills. Let's do this one. I actually quite like this as a concept anyway. Communication style, industry knowledge. Let's just do 2. Communication style categories. People are asking, is this at an MVP stage? That's a great question. I love it. Oh my goodness. All right, while it's doing that, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go, here's one that I prepared earlier. And we'll just go down here. Oh, here we go. We've got our questions. Do you feel confident when speaking? I'll go there. Do you use industry-specific jargon? Do you make an effort to listen? Do you find it easy to build rapport? Okay, we've got those. This would have been the perfect time to do the annotation activity, actually. So I created one earlier today, which was the 5-minute quiz could save you from pain and injury at work. And that was really cool. And like literally, it's very, very simple to edit the questions yourself. Okay, here we go. We've got our questions. Do you understand the latest industry trends? Have you researched the company you're interviewing with? Do you know the specific role you're applying for? Have you attended any industry events? Okay, great. So now we've got the questions. Now check this out. Okay, this will work now. We're past this point. So it's giving you an overview of what we've created. I'm going to hit the button called Create My Scorecard. Look at how many words it writes in no time at all. Create My Scorecard. And it is going to start writing. It's written 736 words. It's done 5 hours worth of writing time that it would have taken you to do that. It's building away, it's coding away, and it's just said, amazing, your scorecard's ready. So it wrote 799 words about this topic and saved you 5.5 hours of writing time. So even though it was slow and we had a few delays, it wasn't 5.5 hours slow. When I created my first scorecard, it was a 6-week process of using WordPress and doing all of that. So here's what's happened. It's gone and created a landing page, and it started to actually go and create this product. So we can have a look at what does the landing page say. Let's have a look. Get hired, master your interview skills with our AI quiz, answer 8 questions and we'll send you a personalized report so it knows how many questions. Are you looking to switch careers but don't know how to ace your interview? I love that. AI wrote that. Don't know how to ace your interview. Take our quiz and get feedback on your communication. By the way, the AI also just chose that image. Like it just picked that image as the image for career skills, right? Which I think is a pretty good image. So I'm going to click publish. And there we go, we've published it. And I'm just going to have a quick look at what it's got. So under the build section, we've got a landing page that it's gone and built. We've got questions, and I might just edit some of those questions, or I might add a category, or I might add a question down here. I can add some sliding scale questions. I could add some open text questions. I'll put in a sliding scale. I could say, how willing are you to get a career coach to help you on your journey? Oh. All right, and we could just say 1 to 5, and we'll say that left label is not interested. And then we'll have, I'm interested. Okay. So there we go. We've just added a little question there. We've also got a results page. So it's been doing that. Okay, let's go and have a look at what this thing has created. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually give you the link so that you can take this quiz. I'll put this into the chat here, so that if you want to, you can actually take this career quiz, and it'll be fun if a few people do. So here we go. You can take the quiz by clicking the link. Also, if I want to share this, I could also share it using a QR code. I could share it on social media, right? So there's lots of different ways that I could share this. There's 29 simple ways to share your quiz. There's a checklist there, so I could go through those. But here's what I'll do. I'll go through and I'll actually take the quiz. So take the scorecard. Here we go. I'll say test at testing. Okay, great. So I'll take the quiz myself. Do you feel confident when speaking about your achievement? Now, isn't this incredible? The AI created the landing page, the data capture form, and now it's created the quiz questions all one at a time. So it's built that. Do you find it easy? Right? Do you understand the latest? Do you have this? Right? So I go through, I answer all the questions. Am I interested? I'm somewhat interested. Right? Boom. So now it says my overall score 75%, my industry knowledge and my communication style both get a 75%. The AI wrote communication style. You have good communication style, but there's room for improvement. That's exactly what you'd want to say for 75%, right? You have a basic understanding of industry, but there's still some room for improvement. So the AI has written some custom content, and it's also got a get started button. We can link that to booking a one-to-one on Calendly or booking a Zoom call. But there we go. We've actually got that. Let's have a look and see whether we actually have some leads coming in. So it says, congratulations, you've got your first 10 leads. And actually 39 people have already done this. So 39 people have started it and 31 people have finished it. So that's pretty cool. 70 people clicked the link. So it's giving me that data straight away. And have a look at all these leads that are coming in. So all these leads that are coming in, these are people I can now validate that I've got a good business. I've got a good career coaching one. Let's click on some name at whatever. Right, so that's a good one there. Some name is in Germany, right? So we know that where that person is. We know that how they answered all the different questions. We can see straight away that there are 2 out of 4 for being interested and willing. We can see their activity on their website. We can also see where they came from. Now, here's where it gets really, really fun, right? We've got this lead here called some name, and I'm going to touch the AI button, and it's going to start helping me to turn this into a sale. So watch this. I click the AI button, and it says, do you want to do sales email or a sales call script? Let's go sales email. So I want to send them a special email based upon how they scored. And it says, so the AI is now writing a special email. Dear some name, congratulations on completing the Get Hired Master Interviews quiz and scoring 57%. Your industry knowledge of 50% and communication style of 63% show that you have solid foundations to build upon. I am impressed that you feel confident speaking about your achievements and use industry-specific jargon. So it's picking up on all the different answers to the questions. While you may find it a challenge to build rapport, right? It's starting a very customized email campaign just for this person. I can cut and paste this, and that is ready to go out to that person. Or I might say, actually, I want to pick up the phone and talk to them. So let's have some sales copy. What am I going to say when I pick up the phone to some name? Hi there. Congratulations on completing your Get Hired interview quiz with an impressive score of 57%. It's fantastic to see that you feel confident when speaking about. So it's actually giving me some content that I can use when I'm picking up the phone and talking to people. So the AI is really starting to help with talking to these people. The next thing that I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to go to the answers. So because all of you answered these questions, can you see here that I've now got data? So for example, yes, that's right. You can see, oh, fantastic, very mature. So 68% of people said yes, 33% of people said no. Do you feel confident when speaking about your achievements? Right, so we've now got this particular stat. Now, what happens here when I click the AI button on this particular statistic? I'm going to write a blog post about that stat. So I'm going to hit a blog post on this, and it's going to write an article about this statistic. Do you feel confident when speaking about your achievements? And then 33% of people said no. So here's what it's writing. Are you confident when speaking about your achievement? According to a recent business quiz, 32.5% of respondents said no. This may come as a surprise to some, but it's not uncommon for people to struggle with self-promotion. In a world where modesty is often seen as a virtue, it can be difficult to talk about your accomplishments without feeling like you're bragging. So here we go. It's writing a blog about the data that you have collected. This is your personal data. You can talk about this as your data that you collected. And now this is a great way for you to start getting more and more people to fill in your quiz. You might want to generate some tweets. So you just click on any of the data, you click the tweet button, and it's just going to start writing tweets about that data. And you can now use those on social posts. Want to ace your next job interview? Take the Get Hired Masterclass interview quiz. See if you're communicating effectively. Are you using the right jargon? Right. So it's already starting. You just copy those and boom, you're away. You can start writing some of those things. So this is super powerful because now you've got an MVP where people can opt in. You can start booking sales meetings. You've got a quiz. You've got leads that are coming in. Look at all those leads that are coming in. Right. We can filter those leads by different scores, all of that sort of stuff. Now, when we're ready, we can also get more advanced. So we can go to our landing page and we can say, look, let's go from a simple landing page to a more advanced landing page. We just push plus. And because we've all taken Ali's course on video production, we've got videos. So I'm just going to add a video down here. All right. So I've got a video that I can put in. I might also want to have some calls to action. Or I might put one-page forms. I might put that down there as well. Right. So I've now got a more advanced video page. Actually, what I really want is some testimonials, so that people know that I'm good at what I do. So I just put some testimonials in there and I can fill those in later. Right. So now I have a beautiful landing page that has all these extra things. So I can preview what does that look like. And it looks like this, right? So it's like, yeah, wow, okay, that's cool. And then I can say, all right, now I've done that. What I really want to do is I want to enhance my results page. So I'm just going to click on the results page and I'm going to say, all right, let's create a little bit more to it here. Let's have a video that specifically addresses people based upon how they scored. Let's have some free reports. Let's go some content. So we will create a nice little piece of, these are the brands that we've worked with in the past. We'll put that in there. We'll put in some, we'll put in a free report that you can get. There we go. So now we've saved that. And once again, we can just have a look at what does it look like. And it's looking pretty good, right? It's ready to go. So essentially, very, very simple. We can do this. So in the chat, let me know, what do you feel like? How does that look to you when you see that it's that easy to start a scorecard that collects leads? It collects the data. It helps you to write personalized emails. It helps you to create scripts. It helps you to create promotional materials. Like all of that is pretty much just built into the platform. Let me talk about why this works so well, because it's really important to understand a bit of the theory behind this. Okay, so why does this work so well? It works so well for a couple of reasons. So it works because when people buy, they buy because they want to resolve tension, right? So this is why people buy. They have a current reality. This is where they currently are. They have a desired reality. This is where they want to be. And they have obstacles and criteria. This is all the stuff that they feel is in the way of where they want to go. So all people are buying because they have current reality, desired reality, and obstacles and criteria. Rebecca, can you clear that little smudge that someone's put there? And that creates tension. When people experience that, it creates tension. So the beauty of scorecards as a lead generator is it creates this tension between current reality, desired reality, and obstacles and criteria. When people fill this out, they get more clarity about where they are, where they want to be, and what's in the way. Then you're in a very good position to offer them a product. And a product is nothing more than a path of least resistance. A product is essentially a way of getting from point A to point B without interfering with your obstacles and criteria. So once you've got that data, you have a very real way of contacting people, talking to them about where they are now, where they want to be, and what's in the way, and then presenting them with a special offer. The other thing I've discovered is that people are very strange that they will tell a scorecard things that they would never tell you. So strangely, people have the reasons that they will say to your face, but they also have the real reasons as to why they really want to buy something. Strangely, I've found that people happily talk to robots more than they talk to humans. So sometimes the questions that you ask on a scorecard, people will tell you all sorts of things about their business or about their life, but they won't tell it to you if you ask them personally. So a scorecard really helps you to get under the surface much, much faster as well. The other thing that I love is that scorecards are available 24/7. So they're just sitting there collecting leads. You can have them on your socials. You can promote them in the morning, come back in the evening and find out whether you've got any leads. So it doesn't actually conflict. If you've got a full-time job, all you really need to do is just post something in the morning on your LinkedIn or on your social media. And then at the end of the day, see whether you've got any leads that you can follow up with as a follow-up tool. So all pretty simple. Let's talk about getting started. So getting started, what we want you to do is we would love for you to take a free trial of this software and create your first MVP. In fact, for some of you, I would love for you to create your MVP starting now, like literally tonight. It takes about 15 minutes to have your first go at it. You can't break it, right? So you can just get in there and start using it. We're going to give you a basic set of tools, right? Very simple tools, AI setup, that you'll be able to start using. And you can use the templates. I'd love for you to just try some of the templates. We're also going to send you a copy of the book, a digital copy of the book, Scorecard Marketing, so that for those of you that like to read and go through one step at a time, it's a step-by-step guide to creating and promoting a great scorecard campaign. And in the next few weeks, we're also going to run a workshop for you called Set Up and Score, where our head of customer success, Lee, is going to take you through and help you with your setup and make sure that your setup improves. We'll invite you into our community on Facebook, so you can get some feedback from the community. You can watch our YouTube videos. And the good news is this: the bottom line is it costs you nothing to test it out. If it works, you've got a powerful lead magnet to test and validate your business. If you get set up, you can unlock your bonus. When you get set up, you'll unlock all the full features, and you can switch it off anytime. And the good thing is that every lead is an asset. Even if you don't act on it straight away, you can go back to people at a later date, et cetera, right? So each lead that your business generates is an asset. Rebecca's going to post a link in the chat. And I just want to let you know that we did a special with Ali that was something we hadn't done before, which was the 50% discount for the first 3 months. We've actually not offered that anywhere else before. And I'll be really upfront with you. We've actually had some of our existing customers say, "Oh, can I please get 50% discount for my next 3 months as well?" And we're saying, "Oh, that's actually for Ali because he deals with startups." And they say, "Oh, but I really want to get a 50%." So it's causing us a little bit of dramas to do that offer. We're going to be switching it off at the end of this month. We're probably going to switch it off come Saturday, Sunday, something like that. So I really want to just let you know that what we'd love to do is get you signed up while that offer is valid. We've got the code. All you have to do is click the link and create an account, and that's going to give you the best offer we've ever done, with the 50% discount for your first 3 months and a 30-day free trial. The reason we do have to eventually switch this off and take it off of Ali's videos and all that sort of stuff is because we've got too many clients who are saying, "Oh, actually, I missed out on that and I really want it," and all this sort of stuff. It's a bit of a drama, to try and balance that, especially with clients who have been around for a while. So we are going to discontinue that offer. But for those of you who have joined on this workshop, you can easily just start your free trial. You'll get a 30-day free trial, and then you'll get 50% off the next 3 months. But just giving you a bit of forewarning, that will be switched off later on this week, probably Sunday evening, 5 p.m. We'll switch that off. So activate your trial ASAP so that you don't miss out on that opportunity. Okay, so here's what we'll do. Let's jump into some Q&A. Feel free to, by the way, the offer itself doesn't switch off. If you've registered for that offer's yours. We will switch off it won't be available to start that offer. So once you're registered, you're totally fine. Okay, so any questions? Let's jump into Q&A. And also, Ali, you're still with us. What did you think of some of those new AI tools? I think you saw some of those AI tools for the first time as well. Some of the ones where it writes content and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I was absolutely amazed because I didn't I literally made a video about this 2 weeks ago and those tools weren't there. Otherwise, I would have put them in part of the video because that's really cool. I was like, damn, need to make another one.
Well, that's the thing. We want you to make another one.
Yeah.
We'll keep releasing new tools after every video that you launch, Ali, so that you keep doing updates.
Nice.
Okay. Let's see if anyone's got any questions. Rebecca, are you able to just tell me, because the chat goes thick and fast, can you pick out a few questions that we should go with?
Some of the questions that people are asking are like, once we've created this scorecard, how do we get the leads? So how do we send them out? How do we actually go and promote it?
Yeah, great questions. So the document that is most relevant for this is in the share section. You've got some different sharing tools which are useful, and then also we have, where is it? We've got courses, so you can go into the courses and you can take a little course. And in the courses, we've got free courses in here. So SEO tips, sales tips. We're adding new courses all the time in there. And then the other way that you might want to have a look at this is we have this document called 29 ways to promote your scorecard. Let's just quickly check. There we go. So this will pop up automatically once you've got a few set up. Once you've done your setup and it's all complete and you've published it, this pops up and it says 29 ways to promote your scorecard. So once you do that, we've got a checklist you can download with the 29 different ways to promote your scorecard. There's a video you can watch that talks you through those ways if you prefer video. And essentially, it's giving you lots of different ways that you can go and promote your scorecard. And you can even download a digital little checklist and actually get all of that. So once you've got a scorecard live, I would use all 29 ways, including things like DMing a few people, sending out some emails, updating your socials. There's different ways, lots of different ways. Some of them you'd expect, some of them are quite interesting and novel. And those are all good little ways that you can be promoting your scorecard. Also, in the book that we'll give you, Scorecard Marketing, that also has some top ways as well, some additional ways to promote your scorecard.
One thing, if I can just add to this. So one of the ways that you can use a scorecard, which we realized the other day, which we've just started to do, is you can actually use it just as a sort of lead magnet driver for stuff. So for example, in the video that we did about ScoreApp, we decided to, one thing that we've been doing a lot to grow our email list based on scorecard marketing is putting things behind lead magnets. So for example, we've offered our Castle template Notion, the Castle method Notion template, but we don't just want to give a link to notion.com, whatever. We want to ask people for their email address so that we can gather some data on them, because data is the new oil. And so we have those leads captured, and then we give them the option to join our mailing list if they want to. And we actually used ScoreApp to create the landing page for this. So I'll show you what this looks like. This is what this looks like behind the scenes, where we got 8,300 people, 9,820 people visited the thing, 7,900 joined the actual thing. You can see it took on average 32 seconds to complete. The average drop off was around 9 seconds. And these were the question performance, I think, is what we want. We were essentially using it as a way to track, here we go. What is our audience interested in? And we weren't trying to sell them anything. We're literally just using it as a way of getting free audience insights. So in this, we literally asked 2 questions. Do you have a YouTube channel? Yes or no? Yes, 22%, no, 78%. And what do they want to learn more about? It turns out like 38% productivity, unsurprisingly, but 40% was passive income. And that was interesting. So that has already informed some of the stuff that we're doing as a business, because we realized that we made this video about how to grow a business. 40% of the people who click it are interested in productivity, and another 40% is passive income. Great. We now know that. So now we know our next video can tackle the idea of passive income. And it might be something like how to build a business that focuses on passive income, or whatever that thing might look like. So you don't just have to use ScoreApp or whatever tool to create like a huge ass quiz. You can actually just use it together as small bits of data from your audience, however big your audience size. So I just wanted to share that if it's helpful.
Yeah, that is. There's so many different ways to use it. By the way, if you work in a larger company, people are using this to do employee satisfaction and to find out happiness and stress levels at work. People are using this to sit down and do a consultation with a potential client. So let's say you're a business coach and you want to do an initial consultation. You start with a wheel of life assessment, or you can start with a kind of an audit of how someone's life is going in particular in relationship to particular outcome. So it's a really good way to kind of conversation start with a customer or potential customer straight away. A lot of people are using these for customer onboarding. Some growing businesses are using them for screening applicants as to whether you can join the business in the first place. So they're getting people to fill in a scorecard before getting a job interview. So those are some other use cases as well for those of you that have got an existing growing business as well. And then other people are using it for research, like academic research. And I saw one the other day that says fill in the scorecard and get access to a £10 voucher for a £10 Starbucks voucher. So they were just collecting it for research as well. Okay, let's, Rebecca, any other questions? I just saw one that said very good question, but I didn't see the question. Some people are asking about integrations. So I'll just let you know here with our integrate button, these are all the ones that you can integrate with. So like Ali's favorite one is ConvertKit. So literally you just go connect, you put in the ConvertKit key, API secret key, and straight away you've got ConvertKit. Some of you are using MailChimp, some of you are using HubSpot, Zapier. All of these are ready to go. We're actually adding about 30 new integrations in the coming couple of months as well. Some of you give talks in front of audiences. I would encourage you during your talk, show a QR code and get people in the audience to fill in the scorecard right that minute using the QR code from stage. That is a really, really great way to engage your audience. I've found between 50 and 75% of the audience will pull out their phone and take the scorecard right there on the spot, which gives you data to be talking about straight away. Rebecca, any other questions?
No, we've had lots of questions. I think they've really been answered.
I can also see you're getting inundated. You're like, you're answering like a rapid fire answer.
On the keyboard are like this.
I can see. Look, here's the thing. Once you have set up a free account, we're going to be inviting you to set up and score, which is a workshop that Lee is going to run, and you're going to have a lot of time to make sure that you get all questions answered. I also want to let you know that some of the AI tools that I just used are the advanced tools that have just come out, and we're rolling them out slowly. We've deliberately restricted it on a few new accounts simply because we just want it to be nice and simple to get set up without additional features, and we're rolling out those features in the next couple of weeks, where all the accounts will end up with the AI features. And what we'll also be doing is doing it so that once you're set up, then you'll start seeing the AI tools appear, so that there's not too many buttons all at once for people to worry about. So simplicity is one of our key values. We actually have one of our company values is elegance. We want this to be a nice, elegant solution, that it's not overly complicated, that it's simple, powerful, fun to use. And that it's delivered in a nice, elegant way. So that's an important part of this as well. Okay. At what point in your marketing campaign, oh my goodness, they move so fast, would you recommend pushing the scorecard before or after a product release? I really recommend doing this before a product release, right? Capture the data before product. Just like Elon Musk said, do you want a Cybertruck? Opt in for a Cybertruck. Get that as quick as you get that out there as quick as you can. That's the point of an MVP, to capture data and do some validation before you do a product launch. If you read the book Oversubscribed, it talks about building up towards a launch. You don't want to waste the launch. You want to really make the most of that launch campaign by building up to it. And this is a great step for the build up to the campaign. Does it support other languages? The AI tools at the moment are just in English. Unfortunately, what we get back from OpenAI is in English at the moment. I'm hoping to see everything can be in other languages later, but you can put any language you like into the system. So if you want to copy and paste the AI content or any content into the system, it'll display that to your customers in whatever you put it in there. So we've got scorecards running in Chinese and in Spanish. So essentially, they just set it up and they put the language that they want into our system. Some people are asking about the recording. We will actually edit this recording. We'll try and edit out the person who did some particularly rude annotations, and then once we've done that editing, we'll release that as well. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me tonight, and thanks, Ali, for joining us as well. As I said before, please do copy that link, because that link is a really special link that's not going to last for much longer. The link that Rebecca has just posted there, and she'll post it again, it is a special link. Activate that as soon as you possibly can, because we do actually, it has caused some confusion and we do have to switch it off sooner rather than later. So we're going to leave it there for you guys to get your account set up. And then once we can see that most of you have got your account set up, we're going to discontinue that offer. So please do make sure that you take us up on that best offer that we've done. And don't, like, even if you copy that link so that you can fill it in ASAP, that would be great. Don't want you to miss out on that unnecessarily. Okay, thank you so much for joining tonight. I've really enjoyed seeing you. I always love spending time with Ali. Thank you very much, and enjoy using Score App and launching your minimum viable products.
Amazing. Cheers, Dan. And thank you, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you later. Bye.